Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ecler Video Systems webinar. I'm Luis Artigas. I'm the sales manager for retail and hospitality in Ecler. Let me introduce you Fabio Rossetto, who is the product manager for video in Ecler. And also, he will be in charge of the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone.
The duration of the webinar is about 45 minutes. You can ask your questions at the bottom of the Zoom screen, and at the end of the presentation, we will reply them. Now, I will do a short introduction. We launched Ecler Video Systems 1.5 years ago with very good results and good feedback. But, well, it's not the beginning of Ecler Video. In 1983, Ecler started selling video, and we sold more than 25,000 units, distributors and selectors. Where are we now, or where are we at 2019? We are focusing the HDMI distribution over IP technology and with the audio, video, and control integration. We will show you some examples during the presentation. Okay? The webinar structure. Overview of video products, the new products and the futures, and some examples, very interesting, how to integrate audio video control with EclerNet Manager, our ecosystems and our platform. Now, Fabio will start with the category products. Thank you.
Luis. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, 1 year ago, we started with the video catalog. Our catalog, we decided to start with a not so extended catalog, but with a product line that was able to meet the needs of the typical small and medium installation. And we're still adding new product and new feature that we will see in detail in this webinar. In addition to the Me Too products, we are investing our resources more in the over IP products that we think they are the most interesting part, with the aim of creating a unique platform, our current EclerNet Manager platform, to offer to the customer a unique solution for controlling audio, video, and control too, like a one-stop supplier. Let's move to the product. So we have some splitter. They are simple HDMI 2.0 splitter with 8, 4, and 2 outputs, and ED management. I want to remember that all these products, all the video products, have 3-year warranty, like all the Ecler products. The quality tests are the same of all the Ecler products, and this is very important for us to underline. We can move to the next category. Extender. We have 3 types of extenders. 2 are HDMI, HDBaseT, sorry, with certified with valence chip, and the third model, the simple one, is like a HDMI signal equalizer. It's more simple. Starting from the top, we have HDMI 2.0 extender that includes a loop out on the transmitter and a splitter on the receiver with ED management. The second model is only HDMI 1.4, so 4K 30 Hz. The previous one is 4K 60. Yes, the third model, they support 70 meter in full HD, 40 meter at 4K, both, And the last model is only 1080p Full HD, with 50 meter of extension maximum. Depending on the model, we have RS232 pass-through, IR pass-through, and they support remote power supply. Depending on the model, the first one is bidirectional, so we can power supply the transmitter or the receiver independently. Pass to the other category. We have some audio cables just to complete the installation. Is like a accessory in version 1 meter, 2 meter, 5 meter. They are HDMI 2.0 cable, and they support all the services offered by the protocol, the standards. We also have audio de-embedders for the integration with our audio products. They allow to de-embed the audio from the HDMI signal. And the first model is HDMI 2.0 with Toslink output, digital optical, SPD, and unbalanced analog on RCA. This year at ISE, we presented a new product. This is the professional version because it includes balanced output. The analog output is also balanced. And with the previous model, this one offers also coaxial digital output. So with the previous product, we can have all the possibility about audio outputs. This one is HDMI 2.02. Next category, switches and matrices. We found our 4030 presenter switcher with 5 inputs and separate audio management. It includes a scaler and automatic source selection. And the control can be, the control options are IR, GPI, front panel with capacitive keys, TCP/IP, and RS232, and it has also a web interface integrated. This product comes with a HD-based extender, and it's perfect for installations such as small conference rooms, classroom, where we have a local monitor and a remote projector. And for example, if we need to add a microphone for some reinforcement, we don't need to add an external preamplifier because it includes a microphone input. So this is perfect for this kind of small installation. The second model is simpler, and it includes 4 HDMI inputs with RS232 control and audio de-embedding in analog and digital optical. Another new product that we present in ISE this year, it's our first matrix. It's a 4x4 HDMI 2.0 matrix with audio de-embedding for each HDMI output. It's the unbalanced analog on every block. And the option of control are TCP/IP, so we can control it sending TCP/IP command. IR, it comes with a remote control included. RS232, and it has also a web guide for the settings and that's a simple interface for control the switching. Let's move to the over IP. We have 2 lines of products. that mainly differ in maximum resolution, bandwidth, and latency. The first product is Full HD with the H.264 compression. In this case, the typical latency is around 350 and 500 milliseconds due to the compression. So for the reason, it's suitable for application where the latency between the source and the display is not so important. For example, advertising video, TV channel, and so on. With this product, it's possible to create point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, and matrices configurations. We can control it via TCP/IP, so we can control it via our touchscreen that we will see later. Another important feature is that it is PoE, so it doesn't need a local power supply, and this could be very interesting for simplifying the installation. Let's move to the next product. This is 4K, 30 Hertz with low latency. So in this case, the compression is very light and it introduces a latency that is around 1 or 2 frames. So at 30 Hertz, we are speaking of 33 milliseconds. And yes, it depends by the refresh rate. But in this case, the bandwidth usage is higher. We are speaking about typical is 300 megabit per second. Depends by the resolution, of course. This product is suitable for application more sensitive to the latency, such as KVM distribution, where the movement of the mouse must be synchronized with the image. They support the same configuration as the previous model, but in this case, we can also compose video wall up 8x8. Yes, the receiver includes a embedder, and the transmitter allowed to insert a signal instead of the audio embedded in the HDMI signal. We can add an external audio input. They allow to distribute also USB 2.0 for KVM applications. And the news of this year is that they are EclerNet Manager compatible. And we will see in detail what has changed. Also in this case, they are PoE, so also in this case they don't need the local power supply if the network supports PoE, and the installation can be simplified. These are some examples of applications. The first one is a point-to-point with RS222 pass-through. The second one is point-to-multipoint. We can also create a video wall, like I said. This one, in this case, 3x2. And we can distribute KVM, for example, for control interactive totems, where we need to distribute also the USB signal for the control of the touchscreen to the PC that are the sources for the totems. For the control of our system, our catalog includes 10 inches touchscreen that is common for the audio and video catalog. It is a capacitive touchscreen, and through the Kernel Manager platform, we can create and upload our customized graphical interfaces. It can operate as client or as server, so we don't need any external devices when it operates like server, because everything is included in the touchscreen. We need to control Ecler and third-party devices. This one is also PoE, so very easy to use. I can show you some examples of integration between audio and video. This case is the headquarters of Mango. This is an example of control surface for audio and video. We can select between two sources, and we can control the audio of a MIMO matrix, both in the same interface. These are other examples. This is for the XR-I1C. There's the H.264 over IP extender. You can find them this interface in our web page, and also in the new EclerNet Manager package, like examples of UCP panels. In this case, you have only to modify the IP address. You can change the images, the logo, and use your creativity, and you have a control interface for a matrix ready. This is another example of control of our video area and in ISE 2020. This is before the new firmware, so in this case we need to program every single button, but we will see the news of the new firmware in a few minutes. Yeah, the trend of the AV installation is the convergence with the network. This has some advantages like flexibility in terms of inputs and outputs. We are not tied to fixed configuration like it happens for switching matrices, classical switching matrices. So if we need, for example, a 7x6 configuration with for example, a 9x7 matrix, we don't need to buy a 16x16 matrix. It's more flexible. Same for scalability. We can add, if we need to add an input or an output, we just need to add an extender, a decoder, an encoder or a decoder. Everything is more flexible, and we don't need to, if we compare over IP system with a standard classical switching matrix, we can save HDMI cables and extenders, HD-based extender for extending the signal, because for the nature of the networks, the system is already distributed. These are important advantages. We have the confirmation that this trend, this is the trend, also in our selling, because we have seen that the over IP products are among the best selling products of our series. And yes, the most important news of this year is that we have worked, we developed a new firmware for the integration of the VO XTI 12 and XRI 12, the low latency version, the 4-key, for integrating them in Kernel Manager. Now we can see the new software. From the new software, the version 5.05, and upgrading the product with the new firmware that you can find in our web page with a manual for upgrading. And this product are part of the Ecler video system, and they are fully integrated. We included the function that the installer needs for configuring and controlling it, controlling them. But I remember that the web configuration page for advanced setting is still present, so we included only the more practical functionalities. Okay. One thing that I want to underline is the importance of the network in this kind of installation, because in most of the cases the problem is not the product but is the network. In 99% of the cases we have seen that the problem is related to network configuration, like IGMP not well configured, jumbo frame not activated. I remember that this product works with multicast streaming, so multicast traffic is a little bit hard to manage, and for this reason that the network needs these requirements that are mandatory. We have some recommended brand or suite or switches. You can find them in our webpage with the manual about how to configure them. Okay, we can see an application, and we can go a little bit in deep with the software. This is an application about a sports bar. We have 4 sources, one for each. You can differentiate it for the kind of sport. 4 zones, a touchscreen panel, and MIMO matrix for manage the audio signal. In this case, in this drawing, the bridge between video and audio is missing. For example, if we need to have all the audio signal at the same time for routing them in zone, we need to de-embed the audio on each source and enter to the matrix. But if you need only one audio each time, a good solution is adding a receiver without any display connect. We can control then it via our touch panel, and we can select one of the audio, because the receiver includes a audio de-embedder, like a controlled de-embedder. It works like a controlled de-embedder. This could be an interesting solution instead of connecting each receiver or de-embedding each audio from the sources. So let's see the software and how can we implement this solution with the new firmware. Okay, so this is EclerNet Manager. We have some we have 4 transmitter and 4 receiver in our network. So if I select the correct interface, the software automatically discovered all the devices. We have 4 transmitter in this case and 4 receivers. I can change the network parameters, even if I'm not in the same network, because they speak in multicast. So I can change the IP even if, and I can see them if even if they are not in the same network. This is a good feature. And yes, I can add them to my project. I can rename them, for example, the receiver with a zone or entrance or one, or two. The transmitter can be renamed, for example, with the name of the sport. So 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, cycling. Tennis. So we have all the devices online in our project. For the transmitter, we only what we have to do is only choose the casting mode. So we have the option multicast and unicast. Unicast is used only for point-to-point connection. So in this case, we need a matrix, so it must be multicast. And we have to select the channel of transmission. Each transmitter must transmit in one channel, because each channel corresponds to a multicast address. So each transmitter must have a different channel. These 2, 1, 3. You will see the channel number on the front panel of the devices that's changed in real time. Here we can also change the network configuration, and this is everything we need to do for the transmitter. For the receiver, the control interface is a little bit more complex. We have not also the custom mode, but we can also easily create video walls. For a video wall, we need one receiver for each screen. So we can define the dimension of the video wall, and we decide which position must assume every receiver. In this case, we are not creating a video wall. We have a single screen. We can rotate the image by 90, 180, and 270 degrees. And in case of video wall, we also have baseline compensation. So the receiver automatically cut and scale the part of the portion of image that is occupied by the frame. It is everything automatic. In this case, we can also control the channel that we want to receive that correspond to the one of the transmitters, and we can switch on and off the HDMI output. For the control, instead of using this function, we can create our control interface. So I can add a new panel. I can change the resolution for the, for example, for our touch panel that has a native resolution of 1080, and this is the native resolution. So we can add a page. We can rename every page and customize almost everything in this platform. We can add, for example, an image. I can add an image that I prepared. For example, I can add labels as static text. I can change, for example, the color, the font, and I can write names. For example, in this case, this is the screen that corresponds to the zone called entrance. Past, name, part 1. And part 2. We can add labels also for the sources. For example, 1, 2, 4. And so on. And now the only thing we have to do is add a control button, and I can define which devices, of the devices it has to control. In this case, entrance. I can define the channel that I want to select. Okay. And so, good news is that with the new firmware, we can have the feedback of each button. So if I go to deploy, I can have a feedback about the what is the selected channel. This is a news that with the previous way of programming was not available, and now we have added. So we can create our matrix just adding buttons. In this case, the device is bar 1. Bar channel 2, and so on. And remember that you have a different style of buttons. You can customize them completely. That's with your creativity. In case of a video wall, we can add a control button that is a multi-button. And in this case, I can change the channel of more receiver at time, just adding the functionality. If I want to change every receiver, I want to set the channel 1. I have just to add the function. This is very useful for the video. Yes, that's all. You can see that it's very easy to create and control. This interface can be uploaded to a touch panel, on our touch panel, or it can be reached via web, because this is also a web server, and this control surface will be available as a web page too. So you can control it via mobile devices, for example. Or
Fabio, also we can include in these panels all the audio part, no?
Yeah, of course. Yes, this is only for the video, but for example, if I can add emo, for example, and I can I don't know, I add here something, but you can create more pages for audio and video. You can customize also with credentials, ESS. It's completely customizable. For example, we can add other kind of control, like a fader, for example. And device 9 is our MIMO. We can control, for example, input volume, or we can add in the same interface audio video. And for example, we can control a GPI or third-party devices with NetString buttons. This is the way we control the other devices. We have just to add our TCP or UDP command. With you can find the syntax in the web in our web page, the manual. Everything. That's all for the news about the new firmware and the integration. We have another important news. I try to return to the presentation. Okay. Another important news of this year is the drivers for third-party control system. We have developed with every manufacturer of third-party control system, like AMX, Extron, EclerNet, Camera, Luna. We have a list of compatible drivers. Yeah, you can find the driver ready for our audio and video products. So in case there is a third-party control system is already present in your system, you need only to add the driver, and you can easily control also the Ecler product. Thank you everyone for your time. It's been a pleasure, and see you next webinar.